Hey guys, welcome back to Senegalese Twisted. I am back again with another review of Maîtresse and I. Marié. Today we're gonna talk about episode 4, and oh my god, this episode was actually really intense and a lot of stuff happened, and I cannot wait to get into it. But I do want to talk about my hair real quick. So I dyed my hair and this is the final result. I definitely love it. Let me know what you guys think, and if you're ready, I'm ready, so we can go and talk all about episode 4. The fourth episode of Maîtresse starts off with the scene where the lawyer's husband is sitting on the bed and he starts to talk about his patient Jelica. And I already told you guys, I knew something was up. And he starts to say that, you know, I have this patient, her name is Jelica, she's amazing, and I want her to survive, I want to help her survive. And the lawyer actually tells him that, you know what, I don't want you to work tonight, no work tonight. And then she initiates sex, and unfortunately the guy rejects her. And then she starts talking about, I feel so alone in this, we haven't had sex in a long time, and I'm the person that's always initiating and you always reject me. But yeah, I feel alone, I feel like you're roommates. Am I undesirable? And I thought that was really sad, the part where she asks whether she's undesirable. And I think she also asked him, like, do you still love me, or something in that way. And then he actually tells her that he doesn't love her or desires her anymore. I didn't hear that well, but then they talk about seeking professional help. And yeah, I think that the woman ends up saying that, you know what, even if you don't do it for me, at least do it for the girls. Because I think that in Senegal it's really important to stay married, especially when you have children. And I think that this scene was amazing, and not because it was executed amazingly, but more because it talks about something that's so common, but it's not talked about, you know, so openly. And I think that normally when people think or talk about sex not being reciprocated in a marriage, it's usually that the woman is the one that does not want to have sex. But in this case it was the man, and I think that that's also giving a new perspective to the problem. But I'm really curious as to see how this is gonna pan out, because what's his problem? Does he love someone else? I think yes, I think he loves Jelica already. The next scene is with Sheikh, and he's so happy to see Noura, and it's so good to see Noura happy, to see her dad at least eat at the table, or at least sit there, because he didn't eat anything. But okay, so Sheikh promises Noura that next weekend we're gonna have a lot of fun and we're gonna do an outing. And she's actually telling him that, no, you're not serious, you're messing with me. And then he's like, no, we don't mess with our treasures. And I thought that piece of affection was really, really cute. And so then Sheikh continues to talk to Lala, and he's actually asking me, like, hey, the thing we talked about, you didn't come back to me. And he's actually asking the sex of their child. And I was like, is he gonna ask? Is he not gonna ask? But hey, he asked, so I guess somewhere he did care. But Lala actually tells him that, no, I did not find out the sex of the child. And then Sheikh tells her that, you know what, the most important thing is that the child is healthy and that it's gonna be born. So Lala agrees. And then he kisses Noura goodbye, and then he goes. And then Noura asks her mom, why didn't you tell dad? Because in one of the other episodes, we saw that Lala told Noura that she's gonna have a little brother. So Lala responded that, no, I want to surprise him. And then Noura asks her mom, well, why didn't you call dad Aljana when he left? Because we all remember from season 1 that Lala used to always call Sheikh Aljana, and Aljana means heaven, paradise. And I think that the message of this scene is that, you know what, it doesn't matter what you do, your children do understand a lot more than you think they do. So yeah, I think that's just for the parents out there. Like, parents should be really careful as to how they behave around each other while the children are watching, because even if the child is not directly watching their parents, they can still feel, you know, the tension and see how certain communication patterns are different. And I think that Noura is a sweet little kid that knows a lot more than her parents think she does. The next scene is where you see the lawyer sitting and waiting on the couch, and the counselor is actually trying to reassure her, but I think she's failing miserably, because she tells her that, you know what, you shouldn't be worried because most husbands are always late or they don't even show up. Really reassuring, man. So eventually Tyro, the doctor, comes in, and he gets the first question, and the question is, what do you like most about your wife, or what do you appreciate most about her? And he has a complete blank. And you actually see the lawyer looking at him and trying to, you know, prompt something with nonverbal communication, but she fails also. Like, the guy did not even have one thing to say about her. So the counselor actually picks up on it, and she asks the wife the same question, like, what do you appreciate most about your husband? And she has a whole list. She's like, he's caring, he's loving, and he likes that, you know, that we take care of him. He likes being taken care of. He's a good listener, he gives me advice, and he's really supportive. And she said a lot of things. And then she also said that, you know, he's the father to our girls that I never had. And I think that when she says that, then he actually lights up as if he has not seen his wife in this light before. And in another scene, you see that the doctor is getting the question back, and I think that his answers are inspired by her answers. And he starts to say that, you know, she is a goal-getter, she is someone that does not give up easily, she's determined, she's unafraid, and she is the wife and friend that everyone wants. She is the perfect mom for our girls. And she's worse than I am, because she always forgets something when she has to walk out the door. And yeah, I think that he ends with saying that that a lot of his success, he owes it to her. And I think that once he said that he was like, you know what, this is my time, I needs to go, because he abruptly just stands up and is like, okay, I think that's it, I need to go. And then she gets actually a bit mad, because she's like, you see, he's the one who's not doing effort, and he does not even want to save this marriage. So he responds to her that, you know, I have lives to save, as if saving lives is more important than saving their marriage. And I think that he just means he needs to save Jelica's life. And I think that that scene was also really sad because he was already, you know, on the right track, and he could have just waited out the end of the session, because I'm sure that the session was not finished with that question to him. And yeah, I don't know. I really want to know how this is gonna work out, because I feel something really messy is coming up. The next scene is Rocky sitting at the breakfast table, and Mustafa telling her that, you know what, I'm going to the studio, don't wait up for me for dinner, I'm out. And then Rocky's like, well, why do you always have to go? Why do you leave me here? You're always worried about a lot of things, but you never ask me whether I slept well, whether I woke up, you know, in a good state. And she was just like a bit whining about, well, you don't take care of me and this and that. So he was actually telling her that, you know what, you are the person that chose to stay at home, and now you want to sulk over it and have me quit my job and keep you company. I'm not gonna do that. Like, you can have this pity party all by yourself. And then he gets a call, and then he's like, oh well, I'm out, I'm on my way right now. And then he goes, she follows him, but like to the balcony, and she sees that he's hugging his manager, his, I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's a woman. And I think that she's thinking the worst, because he's not cheating, man. I know he's not cheating. And I feel bad for her, because I think that she thinks that all of a sudden Mustafa has changed now that they're married. And I believe that his mom also thinks that. And the thing is, I just want to know what happened after she killed or whatever Jelica's dad. Like, what happened? Because I think that's the key to how everyone is behaving. Because I'm sure that, what if Rocky just missed their wedding? Because when she went out to see Mr. Sanya, it was as light as day, but when she hit him with the brick, it was so pitch dark. So what if she just accidentally missed her own wedding and she had blood all over her dress? So how, like, I don't know, I cannot put two and two together, but we'll see how it goes. So Cher visits Rocky's mom, and she was actually a bit hostile, because she was like, well, I'm not happy with you, why are you here, what are you doing? So he was just explaining that, you know, the moment I found out that Rocky's my half-sister, I have tried to keep in contact with her. I tried to see how she's doing, what she's doing, if she's good. And she did not put in any effort. She does not respond to my calls, texts, whatever. So then he continues to say that the company actually needs Rocky. And the mom asks, like, oh, will she have a good position? Will she get a lot of salary? Will she get a house, a car, etc.? She was more focused on the material things. And Cher reassured her and told her that, you know, Rocky will have a good position. And he also talked about the inheritance, because I think that they talked about their father actually constructed the company for his children to benefit from. And now that he knows that Rocky is one of his children too, I think that he really wants to involve her in it. So they talked about that, and then he proceeded to leave. But he tried, but he failed a bit, because he had his hands in his pockets. And Rocky's mom was so savage. She was like, well, you weren't raised right, because everybody knows that if your hand goes in your pocket, it needs to come out with something in it, and the thing that's in it is supposed to be money. So he gave her like 30,000 seifa, which is about 50 euros. Yeah, 50 euros. And then he left, and then she continued to actually talk smack about Sheikh, about how he is stingy, he does not give a lot of money, how is 30,000 seifa actually gonna help her? And I actually had to laugh. But then she also says that, you know what, we're gonna take all his money, or a part of his money, because it's my sweat and I worked hard for it. So I think that that mom is something else as well. In the next scene, we see that Biram is asking Jelica for forgiveness, finally. And he's actually telling her that, you know what, if you die, I have nothing left, and I'm as much as scared as you are, and you should actually not be focused on dying, but you should be focused on the chance you have at survival. And then the doctor comes, and it was actually so funny because Jelica goes into the elevator with the doctor, so Biram is left behind, and he's actually saying that, "Oh, I finally got rid of Maki, and now we have a broadly smiling doctor in a white jacket," meaning that he knows that the doctor is trouble. And yeah, it's messy. It's gonna get messier. In the next scene, you see that Sheikh is visiting Mariam's mom because he wants to know whether she has some information about her whereabouts. But she doesn't, and she's just actually telling Sheikh that Mariam is hurt and that she feels sorry for her, and that she knows that her daughter is hurt because she's the one who put her, you know, into the world. And then she asks like, "Oh, but who are you?" And then he continues to say that, "I'm Sheikh, I'm Mariam's husband." And then the mom is like, "No, not my Mariam. My Mariam, she's so young, she's so small, and she does not have a husband." So then he corrects himself and says, "No, I'm her friend. Sheikh Jang, I'm her friend." And then the mom is like, "Her friend? I hope you're not like Jejo," because he also says he's her friend, but when he's alone with Mariam, he rapes her. And this came to a big shock to Sheikh and to me. And he's like, "What?" So she continues to, you know, explain, and she's like, "Yeah, because I try to say something about it, and he tells me that we have to masla it. And when I speak up or talk to him about it, he tells me that I can't do anything about it anyways. And on top of that, her father is not around, so we cannot do anything about it anyways." So yeah, I think that that's really a shock for Sheikh. And one thing I want to point out is that the type of rape that the mom that Mariam's mom is talking about is one where the person who's being attacked is unconscious. So for example, when you're lying in your mosquito net and sleeping, and someone comes in and tries to rape you or rape you. And the other one is like the normal type of rape that you also have a word for in Wolof, is one where you are conscious and someone is trying to rape you. So that's the difference. And yeah, so we already talked about masla, and in Senegalese culture, when, you know, something happens within families or within friend groups or neighbors or I don't know what, usually things are being swept under the rug, and when it comes to the rape culture, you definitely need to check out my video about the exhibition that I went to in 2018 called What Were You Wearing, based on another exhibition, because it's all about rape survivors of rape who actually put their story and the clothing that they were wearing while they were raped in a large exhibition in Dakar. And oh my god, these stories were, whew, they were so heavy. But the thing is that it happens every single day. It happens, I'm sure that it is happening right now to someone while I'm talking, while you're watching this video. So I think that awareness is so important, and also the fact that people need to know that they need to stand up to their attacker, that we should not sweep this stuff under the rug. At the Cancer Research Center, or at the cancer facility, you see that Jelica is still waiting because Biram has not picked her up yet. And the doctor is actually asking her, what are you still doing here? She's like, well, I guess Biram hasn't changed yet because I'm still here. And he asked her, do you have a few minutes? Like 10 minutes, I'll take you home. She was like, I waited here all day, another 10 minutes won't kill me. And then you see Biram running in, and yeah, they actually get into a, not into a fight, but it's like something, because she had to wait there all day. She was just pissed. So then she goes to the car, and he is left alone with the doctor, and he's actually telling the doctor, like, how many years did you study? You need to do your job. Keep your distance from your patients and keep your distance from her, you know. And then he goes his own way. Raki and Sheikh are eating together at KFC in the car, and Sheikh goes straight to the point and tells Raki that, you know, my image is tainted, especially as the head of the company, and I have been the reason why the company is not doing so well anymore, and I believe that everything that our father worked for is going to disappear anytime soon. And then she's like, what does that have to do with me? And then he continues to explain that, you know what, you're our sister. And I think that here he talks about how she is actually a part of the inheritance, and I don't think she's really interested in knowing this or talking about it either. And he then tells her that, you know, I don't understand why you quit your job, why you left our company, and all that. And he continues to say that, you know, you're very talented, you know your work, and you have all the competencies. Anyways, and then he says, like, he makes a comment about Jelica's dad, like, since Father Bakari disappeared. And then she's in shock. She abruptly stands up and she just leaves. But I think that he also, I need to say that he also talked about, you know, I want you to replace me, and I don't want you to be afraid. I will be there every step of the way to guide you in being a good head of the company. And I think that was really cute. And oh my god, I don't think that Rocky is going to do it. Then you see what I already predicted, because mommy visits Jelica, and it was so good for my heart. If I had feelings, I would have cried, but I don't have feelings, so I didn't cry. So what I thought was really beautiful was that when she saw mommy, she just patted the bed, like, come and sit with me. And she's actually asking Jelica, how are you? And Jelica says with a smile, I'm strong. And mommy tells her, you're strong, you're beautiful, you're loving, you're caring. And then Jelica's mom comes in and is like, yes, let's just keep the past in the past, and whatever happened, let's erase it and just enjoy these minutes or moments, and let's be friends again. And I thought that was really beautiful, because I don't know if she knows, but mommy basically took her husband. So I don't know if she knows, but yeah. So Jelica asks whether mommy is gonna come back again, because mommy says that she's going, and she actually gives her a lot of money. And I thought that was really beautiful, because mommy has always been discreet, and I think that in certain friendships, that's what you need, someone that's discreet and that knows what you need, because she knows that Jelica's not working, so she gave her the money. And we already saw in the previous episode that the mom gave her last money to the girl to get some groceries, you know. And yeah, I think mommy is a great friend. And just to continue, Jelica asks mommy, will you come back? And mommy says, every day. And that's the moment I knew I had to cry. And what else is said? Yeah, and then she also continues to say that, you know what, Jelica, I really miss you at work. And Jelica asks her, like, can I ask you for a favor? Please don't tell them what happened to me. And she was like, that's fine. Cher just called a meeting at 10 p.m. Everybody came. Of course, Biram had to be late, and he did not give a single F. And okay, so he continues to say that, you know what, this company, it's my life, my father built it with this, that, and that, and I will be the CEO, and I will remain CEO, but someone else will be, you know, taking my position. And then he says that the person who's going to take my position is really ambitious. She has a lot of experience, is rigorous, is punctual, is this, is fair. And he says a lot of things. And then you see Biram actually smiling, because I think he thought it was going to be him. But the thing that gave it away for me was that he talked like in French you speak like some nouns are like female or male, but he kept on saying she. So I was like, okay, so I already know it's going to be Raki. And then he says Nyang Raki so. And then Biram loses it. Everybody leaves, and then he starts to say that, why did you give the position to the child of our father? Like Domubai means child of our father, and it's usually is about half brothers and sisters, but from your dad's side. So he then continues to say that you're giving peanuts to someone without teeth, and that Rocky only knows how to eat porridge. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope that this video was not too long for you guys. And for me, this episode was really long. I had so many notes. I had like 3 pages. And oh my god, so much information, and there's so much that I do not want to skip, because I think that all of the things in Maitresse could be, you know, essential in the end, and I do not want to be that person that does not talk about that, because I couldn't see it at the time. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, check out the comment section. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Senegalese Twisted. If you have any questions, you can always send me an email. Check out senegalesetwisted.com for my latest blog posts, and I guess I see you guys on Tuesday for episode 5, and definitely be on the lookout for the video where I show you how I dyed my hair.